Welcome, one and all, back to World of Warcraft, but this time World of Warcraft Classic with KayFray here. I hope everybody has been having uh, a great week. I know we had started World of Warcraft retail with our warrior, but my buddy Cris is starting, and not starting to play, but he's been playing since Burn Crusade, back whenever we both played together. But we are going to start a new series with him with World of Warcraft Classic. And then again, the plan is to eventually start back up not only the warrior, but bring back Kingdom Under Fire still is the plan. Right now, it's just gonna have some fun. Cris went ahead and left to go to he's went to go do an errand real quick, and that once he gets back, he will join us on this video. I thought I would just get started on the video myself right now, and then once the time comes, we'll be able to go and start playing with the characters. We are both going to be undead. I am going to be an undead mage, and he's going to be an undead warlock. I also have several other characters that I think we started with the shaman before, but after playing on the live stream with his undead rogue, I thought this would be kind of intriguing to start a YouTube series with World of Warcraft Classic and playing with a mage. And then Cris will eventually play with him, as he is going to be the warlock. And we just gonna have some fun leveling up this together, and eventually probably get some sleep. It's already, what, 8:58 in the morning? We're almost 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to bring some intrigue to it. So what I'm going to do is let the cinematic, or the introduction of the mages, the introduction slash the storytelling with the narrative, and then we'll sit back and wait for Cris to show up. We'll also go through a little tutorial together about World of Warcraft Classic. With that being said, let's go ahead and enter the world.
Bound to the iron will of the tyrant Lich King, the vast undead armies of the Scourge seek to eradicate all life on Azeroth. Led by the banshee Sylvanas Windrunner, a group of renegades broke away from the Scourge.
I'm going to turn down the volume on my TV.
Lich King's domination. Known by some as the Forsaken, this group fights a constant battle, not only to retain
I like it too.
Scourge,
Can hear it a little bit better.
but also
Volume is a little bit too soft.
who would hunt them as monsters. With Sylvanas as the queen, Forsaken
Oops, sorry about that. I see the mixer for. Oops, sorry about that.
beneath the haunted woods of the Tirisfal Glades. Though the very land is cursed, the zealous humans of the Scarlet Crusade still cling to their scattered holdings, obsessed with eradicating the undead and retaking their homeland. Convinced that the primitive races of the Horde can help them achieve victory over their enemies, the Forsaken have entered an alliance of convenience. Harboring no true loyalty for their new allies, they will go to any lengths to ensure their dark plans come to fruition. As one of the Forsaken, you must massacre any who pose a threat to the new order, human, undead, or otherwise.
And that is our character introduction, the introduction to the mage. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the attack thing. We're going to move some spells around. This is our character. We have the fireball that hurls a fireball that causes 14 to 22 damage and an additional 2 damage over 4 seconds. We also have the frost armor. Increases our armor by 30. If an enemy strikes the cat caster, they may have their movement slowed by 30%, and time between their attacks increased by 25% for 5 seconds. Only one type of armor spell can be active on the mage at any time, lasts 30 minutes. And so here is Chris's character. He is the undead warlock. We have all sorts of different kinds of spells. We have this Forsaken, Will of the Forsaken, where we can reduce or provides immunity to charm, fear, sleep while active, and sleep while active. May also be used while already affected by charm, fear, or sleep. Lasts 5 seconds and is a 2-minute cooldown. We also have Cannibalize. When activated, regenerates 7% of total health every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. Only works on humanoids or undead corpses within 5 yards. Any movement, action, or damage taken while cannibalizing will cancel the effect. Then we also have this, which is we shoot the wand, so we're not going to actually have that quite yet because we do not have a wand yet. We have also the racial passive, where we increase the chances of, or we breathe 300% more than other races. And then we have attack. We have a 4.6% chance to crit with our staff, but we're not worried about that. We also have a dodge percentage. We have shadow resistance as a racial passive of 10% or 10. We have a fireball and we have frost armor. And that is our class as of right now. We have no quest. And we have all this. We just increased our armor by 30. So initially it's at 41, and then we get this and it's at 71. So that's pretty good for us. In our inventory, we have the Hearthstone, which returns you to Shadowgrave. Speak to an innkeeper in a different place. You change your home location, and then it takes you back to this location here, the Shadowgrave, which is when you get to an actual inn or a home, or an innkeeper. It allows you to get rest bonus, so that way you get more experience per kill, or you complete a quest, you get more experience. It shows right here on the XP bar of how you get, how I explained it is that you kill creatures, you complete quests, and it gives you experience to level up your character. You get different skills when you level up. And right now, since we have not getting a rest bonus, and we're at the normal, that we're not going to get as much experience. And the idea is that whenever you're not playing Warcraft and you're taking a break, you're working, that you put your character in the inn, and it allows you to accumulate rest bonus where you get double amount of experience per kill, per quest. And so instead of getting like 50 experience for killing a boar or a pig, you get 100. So it's a pretty interesting concept. And then, of course, you got your food to get your health back up. You have mana to use mana to cast to get the frost armor on, the fireball, and you only have so much mana per level. And right now we're at 135 until we get more armor, better armor in the specifics. We have the fireball, which costs 30, so you're looking at using it 4 times and you're out of mana. So you want to be very precise with when you're going to use your mana, your moves. We have 0 money right there in the bottom right corner. It shows 0 copper. You can get the highest thing is gold, and right now we have 0 of everything. But yeah, that is our little interaction for today. We got Cris again is AFK for now. We have Adrian's offline. Cris has been offline for a day. Eventually, I would like to get a hold of Zach and see about seeing if he'd be interested in playing some WoW. But this is a very unique circumstance to be playing this game once again let's go up to, let's apply to 8. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. I think it was already 9 o'clock in the morning. Jesus. I did an 8-hour stream. No, 9-hour stream, I believe. Just like 10 minutes ago. And, ooh, sorry about that. That was like I did it for 9 hours straight, but that was quite fun and quite intriguing. There's the map, which allows you to see where you can go throughout the World of Warcraft. Here's all of Azeroth, the Eastern Kingdoms. Here is Western King, or the Kalimdor. And you have all these different territories. And then it showed right here, Undercity, that's a major city for the undead. And it will provide you a lot more options for professions and different materials to make your character better. And I haven't even mentioned the professions, which we will get into that once we get it. There's all sorts of things that make your character, you can get better gear, you can make potions with alchemy. It's pretty interesting, and I'm gonna ask Cris what he plans to do when it comes to his profession. Mostly when it comes to your professions, there's certain professions that you probably will not want to get when it comes to your class. Specifically, me being a mage and Cris being a warlock, we are cloth. We wear the ittiest bittiest of clothing. We wear cloth. We wear this, whereas the low has 3 armor. Warriors, paladins have the highest proficiency in gear. That's the plate and the mail. They go from plate to mail. The mages, the warlocks, the priests are all going to be cloth. They don't get any higher than that. So it would not make sense for us to go to blacksmithing. There's like 0 reason for us to do blacksmithing ourselves. It makes more sense for, again, Cris or I to go tailoring, where we get better cloth gear. There's better option when it comes to also getting enchanting, where we can enchant our gear to have better stats like stamina, intellect, spirit, or our main stats that we want as cloth wearers. And with enchanting, you can go and get this chest piece and put +1 intellect with the enchanting. And there's all these different slots that it makes it where you can get different stats throughout the time. And you want the more armor, makes it where you reduce damage. It shows right here like how much damage reduction against level 1 attack 12.8. There's Spirit, which increases your mana regeneration and health regeneration. Intellect increases your damage overall also. Increases the mana points and chance to score a critical hit with spells. Increases the rate which weapon skills improve. Stamina increases your health. Agility increases your attack power, improves critical strike chance with all weapons, and increases armor and chance to dodge attacks. Increases attack power with melee weapons. So that's the idea. And there's all these different weapon skills, and you have to actually work on each of them before you'll be efficient at them. Proficiencies is like what it shows right here. So you use a staff, you got to go up you have to go up to an actual mouse or a boar, pig, and you have to actually melee the boar until you hit level 5. And for an example, the level cap's level 5, or the skill cap's 5. To do the most damage between 3 to 5, you want to hit level 5 with the skill. Because if you don't, and you're level 1, you're going to do like 1 to 2 damage. You're going to miss more often. You're going to get dodged. You're going to get parried more often. And so it's more interesting to do that. But again, as a mage, I want to stay back as far as I can from the creatures, the humanoids, the bad guys. I want to stay as far as where I can because I'm cloth. I get hit, and if I get hit, I have very little health. As you can tell, I have 62 health. It is terrible. Cris has... doesn't specify. Really? Okay. But the idea is that he's going to have low health too because he's also cloth. He has 3 armor, 2 armor on his pants. I have 2 armor. We both have probably the same... no? Acolyte's pants, and I have the apprentice's pants. He has Acolyte's shoes. I have the apprentice's shoes. I have a bin staff. He has a worn dagger. So different characters or different classes will have different weapons, different proficiencies that you would want to try out. I have done a lot of explaining, a lot more explanations than I was intending to do. But with Cris,
all right, I'm back. No more interruptions for a while.
Oh, right on. I was just explaining to the viewers of World of Warcraft and the breakdown of how to play World of Warcraft. So.
Said you'd invite the group.
Yes, sir.
Set my interface options real quick.
Right on.
Set auto loots.
Interface. Yep, that's another thing. Is that you want to turn on auto loot, that way when you do kill a creature, it will automatically loot everything that the creature has on it. You also want to...
Unfortunately, in Classic, you can only loot 1 mob at a time.
Yep. And there's also the action bars, where it makes it where you have a lot more of your skills can be displayed, so that way you can use all the skills. And there's questing, like what I've talked about before, where they want you to go to this person and talk to them, blah blah blah. But you'll see as time goes on of how to play World of Warcraft, and it's pretty straightforward to an extent. Not compared to retail. Retail World of Warcraft. Was that?
You have a mage. Frost mage is 1 button raid rotation.
Pretty much. With Pokemon or World of Warcraft retail or Battle for Azeroth, it is a lot more simplistic than this. This is actually a little more complicated than retail.
Oh yeah, it's way more complicated. There's no denying that. Don't worry, I have quest tracking, so I'll be able to see all the mobs that we need.
Okay.
I'll tell you which way to go.
Go ahead.
I also have 2 quests right now, and one of them is killing zombies. The other one is rattle cage skulls to get my summon imp.
Oh, okay, right on. I was like, I don't have a second one, but okay, that makes sense.
Let me know if you get credit for this.
I did.
Okay, good.
What professions do you plan on going?
Oh, for Warlock, I may just do something crazy and go engineering just for shits.
Okay.
Normally, like most players would just, go run-of-the-mill, enchanting, tailoring, which together hand in hand. Everybody knows that. Well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you want to be adventurous, you go something like engineering, like I'll probably do just for kicks, because I've done it all pretty much. Some people, outside of going tailoring or enchantment, just go alchemy, because alchemy is just kind of like one of those things that you can do on any... Why did that not drop my damn skull? Alchemy being pretty much any class, because it's just, herbing, and the flasks and potions that you can make pretty much go for anybody or anyone. So it's if you want a really good starting out one for any class.
Yeah, that's what I was. I had not got to the alchemy herbalism yet. I was talking to the viewers about the our proficiencies with cloth. It would not make sense for us to really go mining, blacksmithing, because it would not help us in the end. But tailoring, enchanting would help us. But like we said, with both of us, with the both of us having done everything, we could always go a different route and try something new. So.
Well, I mean, it also depends too. Like new players, you don't necessarily even have to do a major profession like blacksmithing or tailoring or anything like that. You could just build your first unit as a farming unit, which in turn you would say you want to go into herbalism and mining, and all you would do is do that and sell it to the auction house to make extra money. Which is not a bad idea for your first character, just simply based on the fact that you're going to be low on funds right off the bat, and it's going to be difficult to make money. I mean, sure there are a shit ton of guides for it, but a surefire way is usually just to go with a farming character.
Oh yeah, that's.
Have to actually put any extra additional effort into anything else. You just grab the herb or grab the node.
Yeah, that's exactly it, because you get, like we said, you go to the vein, and you can go and get, we just hit level 2. You can go to a vein, you can go to a critter, or a creature, and skin it. That's like one of the easier professions you could do, and just go to the auction house and... What's that?
Skinning is an easy one, but I don't think it'll make as much money as like herbing or mining will
Oh
in
no.
the long run. Because like skinning is the easiest by far to do. That's why it's
Doesn't sell as well.
the difference between classic WoW too. If you're talking about classic WoW, skinning is the easiest because yeah, you can fail to skin a target, but you just go back to it,
Yep.
and you only have to skin it once. Whereas herbs and nodes, those are multiple hits. You got to do that multiple times. Because in retail, you mine a node once, you get everything off the node. You mine a node in classic, you might have to sit there and mine it 2 or 3 times, where you get let me know when you get drink and food, so you can start handing it off to me.
Okay.
Also, if you want an easy champ or an easy character to start with right off the bat, you go Mage because it is by far the easiest in classic.
Yep.
Not to mention the fact that you're talking about free food and free mana all the
Yep.
time.
Exactly. Or a Warlock is not a bad one either because of the Void Walkers. That way you're just sitting back and you don't have to worry about being attacked. So.
I mean, that's a hunter warlock. You have your pet do tanking while you just sit back and shoot it.
Yep.
Or use your wand when you're out of mana. That's all the quests you should have yours completed too.
Yes, sir. So this is it's all about having fun, and if you're a brand new player, like what we just mentioned, the simple classes are going to be your hunter, your warlock, and your mage, because it's going to get you the furthest into leveling up the quickest, and then as time goes on, you can learn to get the more difficult classes. In, like, for instance, tanking. When it comes to the warrior, you don't want your whole group to wipe because you weren't able to tank the correct way. But we're going to show you the simple classes for now, and then as time goes on, we'll show you the more difficult classes and how to level them up too.
You got your next.
Yes, I am. I got.
You got your next quests.
We're getting this next one. I got one class. There we go. I got both of them. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the training. Arcane Intellect, which is great for both of us because we are casters. This is actually going to help us out quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and cast that on Cris, and I'm going to put it on my action bar and then cast it on myself. So that way we have a extra 20 mana for each of us. That's pretty huge for us.
Also, a thing to know, when you're low level, your mana regen is going to be through the roof anyway, so don't feel bad if you run out of mana.
Yep.
Just give it about 10, 15
Yep. And then that's where, again, the Mage is quite key. One of the key, three key classes that you can go and make your own food and water, and it levels up with you, and you can use that at any time and get your mana back, and it won't take nearly as long than just waiting for it. So
Look for rattle cage skeletons. That's the first one we'll start on.
cool. But like what Cris was pointing out, when it comes to your the professions, you have the production one is going to take you significantly longer because you're looking at having to find the rare materials. You're looking to have so many materials to make an item. You're going to have to spend like 12 copper to make one item. And meanwhile, if you were to just go gathering professions, you can easily go and get you can get 20 copper ores and just throw them on the auction house. You'll make money because people don't want to spend the time to level up the mining or the blacksmithing, so they'll just go to the auction house and spend the money to get the ore instead. So it, as a beginner, is probably the most beneficial to go starting with mining or a gathering profession.
Somebody's multi-boxing.
Lol.
Wow, multi-boxing classic.
Yep, that's multi-boxing is where you have multiple accounts and you go and you have multiple classes and you have them all together and you level them up that way, and it's pretty interesting. I've seen people do that before. I also received a text. I don't know what that was about. It's probably Mike or my dad. Okay, does that sound like a plan? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Find some more skeletons. And as time goes on, quests become significantly more difficult because you have more aggressive mobs. These things are yellow, which means that they're not going to personally want to attack you. They're going to just stand there and wait for you to attack them. And as we continue to level, you'll have different creatures that will show red instead, and that means that they're going to want to attack you. And there's going to be, instead of having to wait, you'll have all these creatures might attack you instead, and it makes it a little more difficult. That's where you have to strategize with your skills as time goes on.
Well, I don't know if we'll have to wait for these skeletons to spawn or not, but we do need these scavenger paws and bat wings.
Yep.
Seriously.
And then later on, not seemingly later on, but in about 7 more levels, we're pretty close to level 3. There's a thing called talent points, which
Level 3 for some reason.
was that?
Already level 3 for some
Oh, nice.
You should be level 3 already.
And I'm about 2 bars away from it. I don't know why it's not. I'm not level 3 whenever we're right next to each other. Oh, I know why. You completed a quest to get your imp.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I got my Warlock pets, probably why.
But once you hit level 10, you get a thing called talent trees, and each class has their own specializations, and there's 3 different types of specializations. And for me, I get fire, frost, and arcane. Cris gets destruction, demonology, and affliction. And I'll go ahead and mention my specialties and what they each mean, and then Cris can go ahead and explain his. and mine are fire, which is a, of course, fire is like right here, fireball. There's a move called pyroblast, and most of the time when it comes to those kind of spells, they're going to take significantly longer to cast the spell, but they're going to do a significant amount of good damage, and they're going to have a good chance to crit. Frost, on the other hand, you have.
I know what you're talking about, Kyle. I recall arcane fire mages called palm pyros.
Yeah, but that there's also different hybrids where you can get arcane fire, where it's going to reduce your cooldown of your fire spells, and you can mix it up, and it makes it very interesting to hybrid it. And then you have the frost spec, where you're going to be very kite-ish, is where you make it where the creature is going to stay from a distance, and you're going to keep moving backwards, so that way the creature never gets to you. Instead of standing here attacking me, I'm moving backwards trying to kite it. And then there's arcane, where it's... I don't really know much about how to explain arcane. Do you have a good way of explaining that, Chris?
Arcane is you go boom boom and hopefully the enemy dies before you do.
Pretty much. It's a little bit of both, where it does a lot of good damage, but its spell is going to take not nearly as long as fire, but it's not as powerful as fire. It's a very unique spec, and I don't really know much about it during Classic, how good it was. I know fire was really, really good damage-wise. And then, of course, Frost, like what I said, it's very good at PvP, where you're kiting the person to make it where you never have to worry about them ever getting to you, is the idea. And then, would you like to go ahead and talk about your 3 specializations of the Affliction, Demonology, and Destruction?
Sure. Destro is, well, basically your spells do significantly, more damage based on what spec you go or what route you go. Affliction is more dot based, which is damage over time spells. Pretty self-explanatory. And Demonology is, well, more or less you have increased spells with or increased damage with your shadow bolts. Your pets deal more damage and they take more of a hit.
And so those are the...
If you're planning on questing as a warlock, your best spec is Demonology, just because you're gonna want your pets to be beefy. And
so yeah, that's our specs, and then like what Chris said, there's certain specs that are going to be more easy on you if you're new to World of Warcraft or Warcraft Classic, and as time goes on, you'll find out which ones that you like the most, what's easier on you, and so these are just the simple basic things when it comes to how to level that we know of our knowledge when it comes to this game, because again, the both of us have been playing since 2004, and we know quite a bit of knowledge about World of Warcraft. I'm going to go back here and loot this young scavenger so I can get the broken fang from it.
enough to know that if you want easy play of a game, you go retail WoW. If you want more difficulty in a game, you play Classic WoW.
Yes, exactly. Because with retail, they've had to make it where it's a lot more video game-esque, and with this, it feels like it's like an RPG to an extent, where you have a lot more difficulty to it, and that's why I appreciate and I still love Classic. Okay.
Oh, you motherfucker, drop the last paw that I need.
I know, right? And then also with World of Warcraft, or our class, with the tailoring one that would make it easier on us leveling wise, we can make our own bags, which right now I have ran out of bag space because we have so much room, only so much room. So, have you got your Paul out of that scavenger?
Nope, still haven't gotten it because it's being a dick and not wanting to drop it.
Huh. Okay.
No more down here, but there's some this way.
And then as we level up also, once we hit 15, there's a thing called dungeons where you can get up to 5 people. And you'll see it as we get to that point where you can group up. You want a thing called, like I was talking about before, tank, where you get the guy that's going to be able to take the most damage. I talked about that at the beginning of the video when they had the most armor. Like, we have only 3 armor on our chest. They're going to have a lot more armor than us. There's a thing called healer where priest, shamans, druids, they're going to have a lot of healing. They're going to be able to make it where our health is not as low.
Drop the last paw, you motherfucker.
It makes it where our health, if we were to get down to like 20 health, their idea or their spec is where they can make us go from 20 health back to 92 health, and that's their idea when doing a dungeon, is make it where the tank and us as DPS are going to not die. And then with us, Chris and I, very nice, we are both DPS. That means our job is to stay out of area of effect, damages on us, dots, and we want to kill the boss or the creatures as soon as possible because we don't want the tank to die. We want to kill the creatures as soon as we can to level up, complete quests, and so on and so forth. So.
What is it?
You know what? Before I turn my quest in, I'm gonna go sell my shit.
Sounds like a plan. I will do the same. We got Marla's Last Wish.
Do not seek.
Got these boots. It actually has armor on it. These bracers, I want to say, yes, that works. We got also Knight's Web Hollow, which I think gives you weapons, I believe, if I remember correctly. Let's see here. The Flax Vest. Okay.
This quest right here too.
Hold on a second. Let me go and sell some of this miscellaneous stuff that we do not need. Oh, that right over here. You're right. Death Guard, Soliton. Soliton. So we get this waist, which we don't have one. We also get this cape, which we already have, so we'll probably go with the belt. We're already at the 37-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. In the next video, we will continue to level up. We'll discuss more about World of Warcraft, the basics, the 101, and how to continue to level up and how to get the most out of your World of Warcraft experience. That being said, guys, we're going to end this video right here, and we'll see you guys later.